Hello everybody, this is Gold League Gamer 1 and Dyne, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI.
And at this place we are entering the town of Zozo, the realm of habitual liars. Sounds like my kind of town! I like to visit there every summer vacation!
You heard it here from Kefka, he loves visiting Zozo.
Well, I'm not going to appear in the game for a little while, so I have to make sure I get a commentary in on this one.
Yeah.
Now these gobbledygooks, as they're called in the original Japanese, are one of the first enemies. Actually, this whole area is one of the first areas where you're going to run into enemies that constantly use magic. These guys in particular will make themselves invisible, which makes them immune to physical attacks. Edgar has a tool you can buy back in Figaro Castle called the Flash, which will counter that.
Also, I gotta say, for a couple of parts in Zozo, I felt the game was like trolling me because it took forever to remember what to do.
Oh yeah, this is the hardest dungeon up to this point in the game. It's where the first major difficulty spike happens because you got the enemies who use magic. This place is huge, and unfortunately there are no save points in here.
Well, actually, I was not referring to the battles.
Okay, yeah, it's a big maze too. And now that I think about it, if the gobbledygooks go invisible, you can probably hit them with Bio Blaster too.
Okay, one of them actually involves setting a clock, which we're gonna see in a few minutes.
Yeah, the main puzzle in here is you'll talk to various people. They'll tell you what time it is not. You have to narrow down what time it actually is for an optional item, and it's highly, highly recommended you get that item. In fact,
it beats wasting several minutes just finding the correct combination.
Oh yeah, and it's the same for every time you play through the game. I think Celeste still has that rune edge equipped because she's down to half MP. Now here's the clock right here.
Yep.
And it will always be the same.
Yeah, without referring to Psycho Mog's walkthrough, I was trying so many different combinations before I finally looked at it to get the right one.
6, 10, 50.
Yep.
Head up these hidden stairs.
Yeah, so that was one place where I thought the game was trolling me.
This chainsaw is a tool for Edgar. It will do either massive damage or attempt an instant kill on the enemies. It is very handy for some enemies, but you can also buy a drill back at Figaro Castle at this point, and it's actually far more useful.
I find the chainsaw very useful, but it would have been more useful if it was an all enemies attack.
That's what the auto crossbow is for. Yeah, the auto crossbow for groups of enemies, and either the chainsaw or drill for bosses for Edgar. And
but actually, chainsaw is for one enemy.
Yep. And I don't remember if the chainsaw ignores defense. I know the drill does. But again, Edgar and his tools are the game breaker for the first half of the game. That guy right there is probably the only person who tells the truth in town, but you don't need to talk to him yet.
Yeah, so really, there's a lot of townspeople who really stretch the truth.
Oh, they're all liars in here. And there's his regular chainsaw attack, plenty of spinning. Now, Hades Gygus is actually a misleading name because the translator thought it was Hell Gygus. And of course, they can't say hell in Super NES games localized in America, but it's actually Hill Gygus, Hill.
Well, yeah, cause if they said words like that, then this would have been rated M for mature.
Not really. Because hell is used as a place. It's not considered a swear word, but yeah, Mega Man X3, Mega Man 7, and Breath of Fire 2 were probably the first Super NES games to get away with using the word damn in it.
Yeah, so then obviously I guess those weren't rated E for everyone then.
I don't remember what they were rated at. I have to double check. Of course, Breath of Fire 2 actually got away with a lot more than just a single instance of a swear word. It's probably the first.
Well, think about it. Like, if it's E for everyone, then it has to be appropriate for all ages.
Breath of Fire 2 is probably the first game to get away with having a church be evil. But in order to continue on in Zozo, you get to climb a nice big tower.
Yeah.
Now, if Edgar wields the chainsaw and he's wearing a hockey mask, that's the instant kill attempt. And you want to get rid of those Hill Gyguses very quickly because of that magnitude 8 that shoved down our throats in the previous battle. Here's where you'll find most of the tips for the clock puzzle, just talking to these guys. For whatever reason, I guess they're warming up for Final Fantasy VII when everyone's walking towards the North Crater in the second disc.
Yeah, which I will never get a chance to play.
Oh, you can play it on PC.
Well, yeah, but actually, I mean, even if I download the Wii SX emulator, I read online that the emulation for Final Fantasy VII, well, sucks.
Well, again, it's available on PC if you have Steam, which is free.
If I had Steam, I probably would have tried to play Portal.
Excellent game. These are pretty much all the enemies you're going to face in here. Some enemies only appear outside buildings, others appear inside.
I was once told that like Steam is free, but the games for it are not.
Oh, of course not. The Steam client is the platform that hosts all the games. Yep, we got to jump between some windows here.
Yep.
Yep, Celeste definitely still has that rune edge equipped, so she's eating up all her MP.
Yeah, fellow subscribers that are watching this, do not try this at home.
In fact, one guy even tells you, don't try to jump between the windows. And sure enough, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, the reason I said, like, do not try that at home is because in real life, like, jumping from building to building is dangerous.
Unless you're Superman.
Well, he can fly, so...
Originally, he couldn't, actually.
Oh.
Originally, he could only just leap tall buildings in a single bound, but couldn't actually fly. Liar.
Okay, so they're all trying to give you mixed messages.
Yep. Yeah. Liar. I think.
Okay, so you talk to them and ignore what they say.
Yep. You have to use what they tell you to narrow down the actual time. Which is interesting because it never changes. It's always 6, 10, 50 in this world.
Yep.
I'm suddenly reminded of an anime I saw a few years ago where the translation was done by someone who didn't have English as their first language. And you can ask, oh, is this the place that time forgot? When the translation had, is this the town that forgot the time? You can say this about Zozo.
Or you could have said it like, whoa, look at the time.
And just have to continue to the right. More window hopping. Locke's probably used to it. And just keep climbing up. Now in this dungeon you can find Sabin's best weapon for the entire first half of the game. And I don't think it's hidden away actually. If I remember, I think it's in this tall tower. I just gotta keep climbing. Just keep climbing, just keep climbing.
Oh, reminds me of Just Keep Swimming from Finding Nemo.
That's the reference. Good morning, everyone! The sun is shining, the tank is clean, and we're getting out of... The tank is clean. The tank is clean! Probably my favorite line from that movie.
My favorite was Escape. That movie is such a funny movie. Ellen DeGeneres does a great job as Dory.
As who?
Ellen DeGeneres. She was the voice of Dory in Finding Nemo.
I know, I was just trying to do a memory lapse a la Dory here. Yeah, one really funny thing is if you watch the director's commentary, it adds some behind-the-scenes footage in there, and one of the funniest things is Ellen DeGeneres doing some extra lines for when Dory is talking to the whale.
All right. Well, anyway, so we're pretty much almost at the top of the buildings now. So
a couple more floors and then the boss battle. And this is a boss battle that really comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Now there's that door right there. I think that's where the fire knuckle is.
It must be the one on the top floor almost.
Yep, there it is. So Sabin's best weapon for the entire first half of the game, right there.
The fire knuckle.
Hey, finally arranged the items.
Yeah.
And there it is, right down there. It's a claw. I'll equip your Next time, Gadget. Next time.
That's Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
Yep. He's one of the harder voices to do. He's just so deep.
Yeah, I remember when that show was on.
The late 80s.
Actually, well, there was one version in '83 and there was another in '85. Both before I was born.
So the mid 80s.
Yeah, and then there were two movies. I saw both of them in theaters. I actually saw the first one in theaters, but I don't think I saw the second one in theaters.
You didn't miss anything by not watching the second one. So here's.
Why did it suck?
Oh, it was bad. Both the movies were pretty bad.
Okay, so anyway, we're on a bus fight here, and Dadaluma.
And he's striking an interesting pose there. Everyone was kung fu fighting. Da 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 da. He actually looks like he's in mid kick.
Yeah. But anyway, and now to finish that, what I was talking about earlier, I may not have remembered seeing Inspector Gadget 2 in theaters, but at least I own the movie. So, even though you think I didn't miss much
Yeah, it just really was not faithful to the cartoon.
Well, but anyway, and now back to for this Dadaluma fight, I'm putting like Edgar's tools to good use here, and it's really helping to speed up the battle.
Oh yeah, again, that's Edgar's primary use throughout the whole game. His tools really never stop becoming useful. Even if you don't get the optional ones, the auto crossbow and drill, which can both be bought in Figaro Castle, just make him a killing machine.
Yep.
Yeah, we finally reached the top.
Yep, and we're about to find out something interesting.
Oh, she's sleeping. She's behaving like Edith from Bravely Default. She's scared, you know. This girl is your friend. You call her Tori. Tori. How odd. She is undamaged, but I fear she can't understand you. As for me, I am Ramu, the Esper Ramu.
Ah, it's pronounced Ramu, okay. Oh, Espers live in another world?
That doesn't mean we don't live here, too. Espers take a variety of forms. Sometimes we live here, taking the shape of humans. You have nothing to fear from us. I can so imagine him being voiced by Christopher Lee.
Ah.
Humans and Espers can't survive together.
But my grandma told me that Espers and people once lived side by side. Was that just a fairy tale?
No, that was no fairy tale. That was true. We started out as friends. Then along came the War of the Magi.
War of the Magi.
It took place long ago. Espers fought humans who were infused with magical power extracted from Espers. Fearing our magical powers would once again become a target, we fashioned a realm and moved there. About 20 years ago, humans stumbled upon it. Humans who knew about Espers and the secret to Magitech power. Thus began a hunt for Espers. Only in this way could Emperor Gestalt create his invincible army. In response to this, we erected a doorway and threw the humans out. And I think you have to advance the text manually at this point.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure.
Even as we speak, many of my kind are trapped in the Empire's Magitech facility, being drained of their powers. I fled here to avoid a similar fate. That's right. Relax. I sensed that Tori was in trouble. My magic summoned her here.
Tori's an Esper.
No, she's actually quite different.
Tori looks like she's in pain.
Her very existence strikes fear into her own heart.
How can we help her?
When she accepts this aspect of herself, I think she'll be alright.
We have to do something.
Then free those of my kind imprisoned in Gestal's Magitech research facility. One of them can surely help her.
Okay. If we find the Magitech research facility, you're sure we'll find your people.
Like a coward, I escaped leaving the others there. It'll be the end of them.
What do you mean?
Gestal's methods are incorrect. You can't drain a live Esper of all its power. It is only when we are reduced to Magicite that our abilities can be transferred in total.
Pardon?
When we transform into Magicite, our power can be relocated. That's what's left of us when we pass away. These are my comrades who fell while escaping the Empire, and I'll give you my power as well. Alakazam, huzzah! Oh, sorry about the shockwave there. I didn't mean to blow you against the wall. And this is the method in which everyone is able to learn magic in this game.
Ah, so yeah, I was wondering. Okay, hey, oh, this is where everyone can learn magic. Yeah, so most of the party go a quarter of the game with no magic.
Yep, and in order to learn spells, you have to equip Magicite and fight battles in order to earn magic points, and once they have 100 magic points for that spell, they learn it permanently. We few can help save many. The war of the Magi must not be repeated.
Wait a second, we actually have to equip Magicite, you said?
Yep.
Ah.
So you get these four. That's actually Cat Sith rather than Stray. That's changed for whatever reason.
I should remember to do that before I get too deep into the game.
Yep, because if you don't learn magic, you're kind of hosed in this game. It's time to continue on to advance the plot. There's a little character interaction here. See, the lack of music on here, if I'm hearing this correctly, is really helps add the atmosphere. Whoa, they have a teleporter.
Okay, teleporter.
Then we're going in.
We best split into two groups. We still need to beef up our defenses in Narsh.
Indeed. How'd they do that? They got ahead of each other twice. You got old Locke. He's got to keep that promise he made. Now, there's really no wrong group you can take here. Edgar and Sabin, as usual, are the best ones. And if you do take both of them, there's a little extra scene later on, especially if you saw their little backstory scene in Figaro Castle. Yeah, if you want to change your party, you have to go all the way back to Narsh. Really?
Which is really a long way to go.
Yep, and they also lose all their equipment. It's removed, so you have to remember to re-equip them once you get them back later on. So there's the tip to go to Jajor and talk to people around. Whatever happened to that person, your friend of yours who was jailed by the Empire Lock? Now, if you talk to that ghost, he'll give you a tutorial on magic and espers. And that's it for this video.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Alright, so until next time, this is Gold League Gamer 1 and Dyne. Later, folks.
Bye, guys.